Alright guys, that was it. And in the previous one, that's why I didn't want to show in part 2, but anyways, they were talking about these green football skins, but most of them introduced Neymar Jr., and it had some girl named Chloe Kim and LeBron James dressing up in it, and it was pretty weak, but also confusing.
Wave 2, this came with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair.
Oh.
Very not so great looking skins. I mean, they're not bad in terms of WWE skins, but if we're comparing it to the ones that came before and after, these ones were definitely the weakest in my opinion. And this next one
I love
honestly hurts
WWE.
because I really like this show, but I can't deny the fact that they look hideous in this game, and that is Futurama. I like Futurama, but
Me
my
too.
god, the skins look hideous. Besides Bender, Brian Leela look hideous when it comes to the cell shading. I don't know what Epic Games did, but the cell shading on these skins look terrible in my opinion. Moving on from there to Chapter 5, we're going to continue on with the cell shading stuff because this is the Blacktop Ballers set. This is a collaboration with the NBA that they tried to do something really cool, and that's customizable NBA skins, which does seem cool on paper, but the execution was just done terribly. This was another case where the cell shading on almost every single one of these skins was horrible looking. Plus, while I will say the customization was pretty good, it doesn't defeat the fact that the cell shading was such a huge
Okay, can I just
skins.
admit, I love basketball so much. I mean, I don't really watch fucking hell, what's wrong with me today? Might be tired, that's why. The only basketball teams I watch, I forget if they're in the NBA, but it's the Lakers. I love the Lakers. Other teams I love, that sports teams, I love the Chicago Bulls. I'm trying to get into the Mets. I'm trying to support the Mets. I'm trying to get into them. And that's it. That's all I can think of.
And they were just so bad in my opinion. But we're going back to the Icon collabs, ladies and gentlemen, because next up is Karol G. And it really wasn't her fault, because I do think that this set could have been pretty good, but there was just so many ideas that were just butchered really badly in this collaboration.
Can I just admit, when this collab came out, both me and Joe were like, who the fuck is Karol G? And I said, I think she's a singer. And he was like, I've never heard of her. And I was like, me too. But then I heard her jam track, that one, and I thought like, fucking hell, I might listen to her now. And he was like, really?
And plus there was sandwiched in between Metallica and Snoop Dogg, so this had to make it here. And this next one, I know I'm gonna piss off people, but I gotta be honest with you here, it is Ice Spice. Out of all the Chapter 5 remix rappers that we got in that season, this one was the worst. Both of her skins are just really not great in my opinion. I can't deny the fact that out of all the remix collabs that we got for that season, more or less the icons, this one was easily the worst, and it's not even close. Moving on from there to...
I'm gonna react to this in a part 3, but I do want to admit, I did not know who Ice Spice was. Now, before someone says, how do you not know who Ice Spice was, let me tell you this. I've never listened to any of her songs. I don't hate her per se, but I've never listened to any of her songs. But one thing that I do want to mention is that Joe told me when the remix season came out, he said, why couldn't they introduce, like, instead of Ice Spice, why couldn't they bring in, like, Dr. Dre or Kendrick Lamar? Because they brought in Snoop Dogg and Eminem. Why couldn't they also bring in Ice Cube? And then I was like, any other rappers you know? And he was like, yeah, Tupac or Post Malone. And I was like, oh, imagine Post Malone in Fortnite. And he said, has Ed Sheeran been in Fortnite? I was like, nah, I don't think he wants to be in Fortnite. He was like, oh. AC/DC could be in Fortnite. Guns N' Roses. Maybe they would allow Elvis Presley, Elton John, Frank Sinatra, John Denver, Bob Dylan, Bob Marley, Michael Jackson. That would have been cool if they allowed Michael Jackson to not like really promote, but just to, before the movie came out.
Chapter 6.
That was a missed
Let's get the
opportunity.
big one out of the way here. Skibidi Toilet.
To be honest, I did not know what Skibidi Toilet was until it came out. But anyways, I'll show you guys this in part 3. Bye-bye.